Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good for you. Um, like I told you yesterday in my video I made yesterday, I came back out here today, this evening, and started doing some more work on my top secret project. That's what I'm calling it. Yeah, makes it sound like I'm working for Q branch, James Bond film or something. Anyway, um, what I'm doing is I'm working on this little project right here, and I've got it going on, and I've got show you what I've done today. It doesn't look like much, I know, but I've got these just got these on here. So as you can see, those bolts aren't tight. They're just in the holes, and that's it. There's no nuts on the back of them or nothing like that. But as you can see, I've got these welded together and got welded these little washers onto my brackets down there so that these arms, these sides could just fold right down. Now, let me open up this other one here, let you see it. As you can see, right here, I've done the same thing over here. I've welded a washer on over here. As you can see I've done the welding here on this side piece here as well. And more scrap back here that has been welded on that is going to make this the that ties these two sides together, and it, as you can see, I've done the plug welding there on both sides, which is I really like. That turned out really good. uh the let me turn the camera around here so I can face y'all. Anyway, yeah, this is turning out really nice, and I'm hoping that it's going to work out really good. I've been working on the bicycle forks. Been doing a lot of thinking on that after I made my video last night. Been doing a lot of thinking about those bicycle forks and what I'm going to do in order to make those work really well. I think what I'm going to do on them is I'm going to use a thinner, narrower fork for each side and for each wheel, and they're going to allow the whole unit to be a little more compact. Um, Basically, this whole thing needs to be more compact. It needs to be compact and needs to be able to be folded down, just like what you're going to see here. Let me set the camera up here, or if I can. As you can see, the whole thing needs to fold over on top of itself. And see right there. So that's why I'm going and using a thinner fork than what I showed you initially yesterday. So that way this can all fit in a very small compact place. Now also too, this is going to have, it's going to be strong, but it's going to be, I want it to be lightweight. I don't want it to weigh, 50, 60 pounds. I want this thing to be a very lightweight piece. Um, Also, I'm going to make some modifications, um, and this thing is going to have the ability to go into um, I'm going to have it to where it'll go right into my bicycle carrier, my bike rack carrier, and it will be able to be used as um, be able to be used in such a way that it'll add to its usefulness on the bike rack. So, but again, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to figure it out. Okay, so, and I will give you a hint. It's not going to be nothing boring like a wheelbarrow or a dolly or anything like that. This is going to be something cool. Okay, but it's going to be really cool. But it's going to be really useful, and it's going to be strong. It's going to be lightweight. And it's going to be compact. And that's the item. That's the my goals. That's where I'm trying to take in this project, and I want to make it go. I started this project, like I said yesterday. I started this project back in the summer, and but I'm getting back on it because the weather here in November hasn't been that bad, and so I'm sort of like, okay, might as well get on it, do it, and then by the time I need it, you know, hopefully by the time summer rolls around, it'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, but another part of the video, I want to talk to you all about safety equipment, safety gear. Okay, now I know some of y'all tend to ignore using any sort of safety equipment, which is not a very good idea. Um, it's always a dangerous idea to be working with some of this stuff. You got grinders, you got drills, you got all sorts of stuff. It's welding equipment, all sorts of stuff like that that is throwing sparks and bits of metal and um, the grinding things, the grinding wheels on like my grinder throws up all kinds, not only sparks, but also throws up all kinds of bits and pieces of stone off of the actual grinding wheel. So that's something that needs to be kept in check, and you need to be very well aware of it. Now, myself, lots of times you see in my videos, I'm wearing some sort of safety glasses. Um, it's very important. The eye is actually quite durable. The human eye is. Oh, it sounds like we have a visitor. One of my cats seems to have came in here. So if you hear her, there you go. Anyway, the human eye is actually quite durable. It'll withstand quite a bit of abuse. But one thing you do need to be aware of is whenever stuff does go in your eye, it has to come out. And if it gets caught in between the eyeball and the eyelid, it's very irritating. You can go to a doctor and get it out, of course, but it's just a lot of hassle. And I mean, to me, I'm going to wear some safety glasses because I don't want that crap in my eyes to begin with, okay? I mean, would it make me go blind? Probably not. I mean, especially when like you're under a vehicle and you're working on something and dirt and crap is falling on you and stuff like that. It's just a good idea. Go ahead. Use the safety gear that you need to be using, because it'll just save you a lot of hassle and time and aggravation. Uh, you know, I mean, safety glasses like this are not hard to come by. You can buy them virtually anywhere. These here are a little dirty and they're a little scratched up even, but they still do a pretty good job. Uh, Another thing you need to be well aware of is uh, anytime you are anytime you are welding, be sure to get some good gloves. Okay, even the cheap gloves, the cheap leather gloves, do pretty good. These right here are like insulated and they withstand quite a bit of heat. So protect your hands. You need to protect your hands. I don't like wearing the thin rubber gloves when I'm working on a vehicle, but when it gets really cold and it's rainy and wet, it's just nice to have that. Okay, because in the wintertime, my hands get dried out because I'm washing them, and then and there's all of that kind of washing, and then your hands get dry, and it's just cycle. They get dirty, you wash them again, etc., etc., etc. So, uh, You need to make sure protect your hands. Okay, it's very important. You know, you're grinding, welding, anything like that. You know, you're going to be doing a lot of heat, getting around a lot of heat. The mechanics gloves nowadays are fantastic. If you're going to be working on a vehicle and it's just been running, the engine's just been running. There's a lot of heat, and you know you're going to be around those intense heat sources. It's a good idea. Go ahead and get them. Good investment. Uh, there's even some really good gloves. They're not even made by mechanics gloves, but they're similar in style and type and everything like that. So go ahead and look into those. It's a wise idea. Um, if you are, if you do, let me also say, if you do buy uh, safety glasses, make sure to get some that are ANSI rated, ANSI. Okay, uh, even ones that aren't are actually way better than than nothing at all, or way better than wearing just like your sunglasses. You know, but even some sunglasses nowadays have the correct protection that is necessary to keep your eyes in safe. Um, Another thing, while I'm on the subject of safety, ears, your hearing. Okay, these I've had these for 15 years now, something like that. Bought these at Walmart. Bought a pair of them. Originally bought these for my daughters, so when they go to the drag races, they can put these on and it protects their hearing. One thing you need to be aware of: your hearing, once it deteriorates just at least a little bit, it does not come back. Okay, so and there's not only the sharp, piercing noises that you deal with out here in the garage, but there's also the long term noise. Not only when you're grinding or something like that, you've got that quite a bit of noise for a long period of time. That's just as damaging. It may not be quite that high in decibels, but that long, drawn out period of time where the ear is having to deal with that impact of noise is really, really bad. So do yourself a favor. Get yourself some of these. They're really cheap. All of this stuff I've been showing you is really inexpensive. And you notice the hat. This is actually a welding hat. Picked this up at like Tractor Supply. I think it was like $8, $10, $12, something like I can't remember exactly. But again, protect the scalp. When you're welding, you can put this on. You can put it on right underneath your your welding helmet, like that. And lots of guys will turn these around. When they put their welding helmet on. I do. But of course, you want to make sure. Here's some of the mechanic style gloves. You just want to make sure that you get the right size. They do come in different sizes. Small, medium, large, extra large, etc., etc. Okay, it's a good idea. Go ahead and try a few pairs on when you're in the garage, in the parts store, or wherever you see them at. And great thing about these, when you get them really dirty and you feel like you want to wash them, throw them in the washing machine with some soap on them. They come right out clean, and it's really good. Really good, man. Now, this is an auto darkening welding helmet. I am not a welding expert, but I can tell you for sure, this right here, fantastic for the eyes. This is also fantastic if you're welding and you gotta have your other hand free to hold something in place. It's just makes things so much easier. Okay, because the great thing about this is, like the name implies, it's auto darkening. Um, my wife thought this was some sort of gimmick or something like that, but honestly, this is really, really great. Now, the cheaper welding helmets that aren't auto darkening, there's a lot of those that are really good, but then there's some of those that they'll just drive you crazy. Yes, they will protect your eyes from the intense flash and that intense right brightness of the welding arc. But what you need to be aware of is that if you're doing a lot of welding, you know, it pays to invest in a really good welding helmet. This one here, I didn't have to pay too much for it, but it's been really nice. I've had it for about a year, maybe two. It's done a really good job for me. And I just so you know, I did not order these skulls on here. They came on it. Okay, so we ordered one without the skulls, and it came with the skulls. So who knows? Okay. Anyway, um, also I'm going to talk to you a little bit about also face mask. Okay, when you're grinding, you know, or something like that, you got the wire cup wheel on your drill or on your grinder, and you're grinding something. You know, sometimes it's nice to have this too. You know, yeah, you may also have the safe glasses on already, but go ahead and use something like this. These are really cheap. You can pick them up nearly everywhere, and the great thing is you can replace these, replace the whole thing for really, like I said, they're really cheap. So, also too, these are easy to take off and clean and everything. So, great idea. Now, also too, are in the garage. Do yourself a huge favor. If you can stand, some people, you know, have foot problems and they cannot stand to wear protective footwear, like the steel toe boots and those sort of things. Some of us, I myself, I've never had a problem with them. I guess I'm blessed that way. But if you aren't, if you do have problems with the steel toe footwear, they probably make some steel toe footwear that will work for you. I know I think there's like one or two pairs. There's one pair of steel toe boots I had they were a little bit less than desirable. Let's just say that, because the insole in them was it was garbage. They were so cheap. I didn't buy them. Somebody bought them for me, and they were just really awful. Okay, but that was a long time ago. Anyway, but yes, you want to make sure, you know, if you're going to be on your feet a lot, you know, in your garage, get yourself a decent pair of boots. I mean, even if they're not necessarily steel toe, but if you're going to be welding, you do need some really good protective footwear. Um, I have tried to weld with tennis shoes on. It's awful. It's really awful. I mean, it's like every time I do, there's like an arc. There's like a little spark that will get down in the tennis shoe and it'll burn my foot, you know. And so save yourself the trouble. Don't do that. Get yourself some leather boots or some good heavy boot of some sort and use that. Okay. I would recommend that you use a boot with leather on it, but you know, there are some boots out there that aren't all leather that still are pretty suitable for welding. So, you know, but like I said, I'm not a welding expert. I do weld. I taught myself how to weld. So, yes, that's why my welds don't look fantastic, but that's the way it is. Okay. But I do know something about safety, and I do know that safety is one of those things you think about it after the accident happens. And the thing of it is, it's just a habit. You get yourself into the habit of thinking about safety, like putting on safety glasses, you know, the face shield, gloves, that sort of thing. It's just a habit thing. It's just a thing you do, and you just do it just continually as a habit. So get yourself in the habit of doing that. You will thank yourself later. It's just a really wise idea to do that. But anyway, um, like I was saying though, the the project over there, the top secret project, this project I'm making out of scrap, is turning out great. And so, anyway, thank you, and thank you for watching, and God bless. Y'all have a good one.